A very good morning to one and all present here today on day 4 of the 6 days online refresher program on contemporary artificial intelligence applications in healthcare, sponsored by AICTE-ISTE and organized by the Department of Computer Engineering, DYPCOE College of Engineering, Akurdi, Pune. On behalf of the Department of Computer Engineering, I, Sodamini Somvanshi, Assistant Professor, would like to welcome you all for today's day. I am indeed honored to offer a warm welcome to today's guest and speaker of the session, Dr. Deepti Patil, Associate Professor, Cummins College of Engineering for Women, Pune, our respected Principal, Dr. Vijay M. Vadai, Vice Principal, Dr. Mrs. P. Malati, HOD, Dr. Vinayak Kottawar, faculty members, and all the participants of this course. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress, and working together is success. As rightly said, this is what our beloved principal sir has been motivating us to do throughout his journey. I now request our visionary principal, Dr. Vijay M. Vadai sir, to mark the beginning of this auspicious day with his words of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किंचित् जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीता मा घृतः कस्य सिद्धनम्. First of all, let me welcome to Honorable Dr. Deepti Patil. She is an Associate Professor in Cummins Engineering College and Board of Studies members of the IT Department from the SPPU, Savitribai Phule University. And I'm very proud to say that she is my first PhD candidate and most brilliant and fastest PhD candidate. Fastest PhD, when her grasping and working was very fast and very committed and dedicated for the kind of the research, innovations, development work. And I'm very happy that she has a lot of patents, I think 5 patents, more than 5 patents, Deepti.
6 patents.
6 patents, and now she has acquired the authority as a patent lawyer too also, and she is authorized, to guide the people to how to patent and how to progress in that particular dimensions and directions. Let me tell you that this head of Department of Computer Engineering, Dr. Vinayak Kottawar, he is a very thorough gentleman and really committed for the cause of the research, innovations, development and creating the new environment of the study in the Department of the Computer Science and Engineering. Recently, with its good initiative, the Center of Excellence in Artificial Intelligence has been properly established. The good AI tools has been properly installed and the many faculty members are working with him, and the students are also working, PhD students are working in this particular domain. Before few days, the structure of this AI data science have come into existence because that was hosted onto the SPPO portal. And when we were comparing this artificial intelligence and the significance of the artificial intelligence and data science program, that hardly 20% difference is there as far as this regular subjects are concerned, and mostly 40% difference as far as the electives are concerned. So it is not only the system oriented, now it is absolutely into the application oriented. That was the discussions that I was doing with the head of department, Dr. Vinayak Kottawar. Dr. P.T. Patil also has really insisted as far as this some of the courses which were exclusively the part of the IT department and some were exclusively from the artificial intelligence, specifically for the data science, because she has established the Center of Excellence into data science. Why I am trying to emphasize always, unless and until the faculty are upgrading themselves in this particular domain, AI data science, their future will be dark. So to keep them always reskilling and upskilling, this is the need of the hour. And all the faculty members, I'll be, requesting you to be into this machine learning domain, AI domain, deep learning domain. This is quite essential nowadays. Let me tell you, today morning I was going through some of the important discussions by Mr. David Hanson, and the great humanoid with the people have their Hanson laboratory has created, that is the Sophia. And the talk was only the discussions and interaction was the one robot and the creator of that robot. That is a Dr. David Hanson. Hanson Laboratory, world's #1 humanoid that they have developed, the Sophia. And the kind of the intelligence which has been embedded into that, the computational intelligence that has been embedded into that humanoid was very fabulous. Yeah, day before yesterday I mentioned as far as this artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, artificial this narrow intelligence, artificial super intelligence, and some conversational artificial intelligence. This is one more dimension has been. And this specifically the emotional intelligence, what is expected, along with all the 10 multiple intelligences has been embedded into the Sophia. Whether that kind of the human cognitive ability has been properly embedded into that particular Sophia, the robot or humanoid. Dr. David Hanson was interacting on as good as, we meet in good morning, we say that, hello, Dr. Dipti, hello, Dr. Vinay Kotawar. Similarly, immediately, that humanoid recognized the people quickly based on the whatever the camera in front of the camera. Suppose anybody comes, that humanoid immediately recognized, because with respect to all the information that fellow or the woman or the boy or anybody who is in front of or any object there, all the data is actually fed, and immediately the kind of the correspondence and interaction which has happened with the David Hanson and that robot, she used to respond like as just a human being. And he has asked that Sophia that what kind of the contribution that you are going to do into the healthcare segment. How your services, how your intelligence will be helpful for all the patients. How will you suggest that which kind of the algorithm, which kind of the artificial intelligence will be helping to support to the patients. Which kind of the algorithm, which kind of the machine learning algorithm, supervised, unsupervised, the machine algorithm or reinforced kind of the machine algorithms will be used for what kind of the prediction or analysis of what kind of the diseases. Based on the question answer, whatever he was doing, the immediately zero response time, all the healthcare advice was given to the doctor, and this kind of the intelligent brilliance, because generally when the patient comes, suppose he is a heart patient, the cardiovascular diseases, CVD diseases, the morbidity and mortality rate is 14.5%. And I'm very happy to say that Dr. Dipti Patil has already worked into this domain of the heart. So heart rate analysis, the complex, the QRS complex, ST segment elevation, then ST segment and PQ analysis also. What happens if this particular deviation from the standard signal and amplitude and the distance and the width of that all the signals which comes as far as when we access the ECG of the person. Then she has worked onto the real-time signal. That is the best part as far as the research is concerned. So what is the condition of that fellow? What is the condition of this heart of that particular patient when he goes to the doctor? Day before yesterday, we have discussed with respect to the interaction between the patients and the doctor. IBM Watson have already the witnessing all that, and accordingly the interpretation is giving. But for giving the low-cost interpretation and low-cost devices which has to be developed. I think that the wisdom and the AI intelligence has been embedded for analyzing this particular ECG signal. So you know that PQRS signals analysis generally, which is done with the help of the signal conditioning or signal processing kind of the analysis. But now AI has come into the pictures, which will be helping to predict the analysis of that complex, that is the QRS complex wave, and the ST line signal, so that whether the myocardial effect or myocardial infarction or the cardiac arrest or ischemic attack, what kind of the attack may be there for that particular patient. This was diagnosed and which was really evaluated and studied properly by Dr. Dipti Patil. When we were started that, I remember still that, she was working into the static and dynamic data mining domain. But now I think that she has progressed much, and she is now also guided, she have guided the few PhD candidates. She has produced the 2 PhD candidates till date, I think that more than that. So such kind of the researcher, if available for us, why not? And I'm very proud to say that, the research candidate is not stopping once the research is or PhD is awarded. Continuation of the PhD research and innovations that should continue in their future journey. That is the essential component for all the professors that I would like to give the message today. Once again, on behalf of our Honorable Satesh Patil sir and Honorable Colonel Joshi sir, for giving the great support and creating the conducive environment for the technological enhancement and upgradation of all the faculty members, skilling of the faculty member, building this right infrastructure along with the technological enhancement of all the faculty members. Again, I cannot forget to acknowledge all the efforts which is being taken by the Vinay Kottavar, head of department, professors. Really, it's a great initiative that as IST and AICTE has really given the support for this. Why we need to iterate? Because it is the prime duty for us, those who have contributed in our life. It is our sincere duty to acknowledge that their efforts and their support. Otherwise, we will be, ungrateful to them like that. We should not be like that. We should acknowledge all the support that they have given. Always it is. And then we feel that we are relaxed. But my motivation to all the faculty member is that if you are doing the research, please do the genuine research. As Dr. Dipti Patil has done. So very critical conditions she has faced, but she has ultimately completed. I consider that within 5 years she could complete this, before registration 2 years and after registration 3 years, like that. So I expect that all the faculty members, those who have done the doctorate, they should do the postdoctorate, right? And those who have done something or not doing anything, they should think for the research, innovation, development into artificial intelligence. With this word, now it is my time, it is 10:30. So thank you very much for inviting me and for giving the chance to talk and give some words of wisdom there at the starting of this particular program. Best of luck, Dr. Patil. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. You've always been a motivation for all of the faculty members at DYPCOE. Thank you once again. Moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to know about the eminent personality to whom we are eager to listen to today. We have amongst us Dr. Mrs. Dipti Patil, who is an Associate Professor, Information Department at Cummins College of Engineering for Women, Pune. She is associated with Cummins College for about 6 years now. And prior to this, she has served at various engineering colleges such as MIT College of Engineering, Pune and Vidyavardhani College of Engineering, Vasai, Mumbai, with a total contribution of about 18 years to the field of teaching. Dr. Dipti She has earned her doctorate in the year 2014 from Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University in Computer Science and Engineering under the guidance of our beloved principal, Dr. Vijay M. Vadai sir. She has pursued her UG and PG Computer Engineering from Todamal Sahni Engineering College, Bandra, Mumbai in 2002 and 2008 respectively. She is the member of Board of Studies of Information Technology of Savitribai Phule University and DIIT Pune. She is a proud recipient of various honors and awards. She has been awarded the Best Teacher Award by the Savitribai Phule Pune University in the year 2019-20, which is a very big credit to her share. She has also authored books in the areas of data structures, mobile healthcare. She has around 75 research articles to her credit, which are published at various national and international journals and conferences. She is a life member of various professional bodies such as CSI, ISTE, IEEE, so on. Dr. Deepti Patil is involved in developing healthcare system prototypes for which she has filed various national and international patents, one of them named as Method and Apparatus for Wireless Sensor Network-Based Intelligent Framework for Mobile Real-Time Healthcare Systems, which has been granted in the year 2020 in January. She has contributed as an editor, reviewer, session chair, committee member to various international conferences and journals. She has delivered expert talks on various subjects at various international and national level, lecture series, STPs, seminars, workshops, etc. for both faculty and students. Her special areas of interest include mobile healthcare, analytics, data science and artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things also. She is a recognized guide, PhD supervisor in Computer Science and Engineering at SPPU Pune and Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University also. She is also certified patent attorney. She consults on patent drafting and filing. Her vision is to motivate students and faculty to pursue research which will be helpful to the society, and the research which is productive and quality which serves to the healthy life of people. Let us now welcome and invite Dr. Deepti Patil to enlighten us on the topic healthcare informatics. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much for such a nice introduction of mine. Good morning, all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. D.Y. Patil, College of Engineering, Akurdi, respected Principal Dr. Vijay Vadai sir, he is my guru too, Vice Principal, and Dr. Vinayak Kuttava sir, Head Computer Engineering Department and Computer Engineering Department for giving me this opportunity and forum to share my knowledge. So thank you so much for that. I would like to say good morning to you all, and let me share my presentation and start from. Is it visible?
Yes, madam. It is. Yes, it is visible.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Sir has inspired me. Dr. Vadai sir has inspired me very much. Motivated the area in which I'm working, that is healthcare and artificial intelligence. This is because of the path shown by Dr. Vadai sir. As a decade ago, I had started with the research in data mining. I was interested in doing the research in data mining. Then he said that whatever technology you use, but you develop a solution or develop something or do a research in the area of healthcare. So that time it was really a new area, and it was like people were people were reluctant to work in such a new area, because if you don't have the knowledge of health or the medicine or the medical terms, how you are going to develop a technology for it? So if you want to develop any system, let's say let's take a common example of, let's say, cancer. So in that case, if you don't know about what are the things or what are the terms are used and the features which are important for detecting that cancer, Okay, so you cannot develop or design a system for it. So though it was challenging, but I had taken that challenge, and with that I started my journey with the healthcare domain and the artificial intelligence. So today's my topic is health informatics. Uh, I will just touch upon the agenda which I will be covering the points about. That is health. What is health informatics? Role of AI in health informatics. I will be discussing few AI techniques. I know that since 3 days you are all discussing about AI, healthcare, and the techniques. So I will be also touching about certain case studies which I am working on, and if you can get certain clues for starting your research or some other techniques if you can think of which you can apply for the same problem statement, because if even if the problem statement is same but the solutions can be different, so the researchers can always think innovatively and differently to find the solution which are for the same problem, and then the challenges and opportunities for the healthcare industry too, and also for the researchers. So what is health informatics? So when I have done a research for health informatics in terms of physiological signals, so taking certain image or taking certain patient record which is telling a patient history may be a simple thing, but thinking of taking the vital signals or vital signals like ECG, EEG in real time, and then operating it, applying the certain techniques in real time on it to get certain results was the challenge. Right, nowadays the wireless technology or wireless sensor network technology has evolved a lot. Lot many sensors are available, and through that the data has become available. So health informatics is nothing but I can divide it into two terms, that is health and informatics. So the data related to health, if you have, so that is a data. Okay. So now when that data is there, until and unless you provide a context to it, it doesn't become an information. So if you know, we as the people who are from computer and IT or electronics background, we know the famous KDD process, that is knowledge discovery process. So the data is there, but though we have data, let's say we have taken a data from sensors, but until and unless we provide the context to it, it doesn't become an information. So if we have that information, but what we are going to do about it? What things we can do with that information? What reasoning we can find out? So for that purpose, we have to apply certain analytics or certain statistical techniques on it. So we can call that inform with analytics. Information with analytics will become an informatics. So that is health informatics. So obviously when we are talking about it, we are providing writing certain complex algorithms which are nothing but AI based algorithms, and with which we are finding certain patterns from it to get certain decisions. That is nothing but the informed decisions we are getting. So that is nothing, that we call it as health informatics. So it is a way of organizing and analyzing health records to improve healthcare outcomes. Now, when we are saying the health records, it may not be only the patient records, it can be the pathological reports, it can be the different signals which are recorded, it can be the when we are saying healthcare industry, it is not related to only patient's health or diseases, but when healthcare sector is looking this type of industry, it is like they are also focusing or they are also treating patient as their customers. So when they are treating patient as their customers, then also they are keeping track of which are the probable patients and which are the probable doctors, like that. So these all things, the AI is playing an important role for this healthcare industry. So you have resources, the devices through which you are acquiring the data, Then there is another challenge that this data is continuously generating. So this is like a big data. So this big data has to be stored somewhere. That's why this cloud computing technology is taking a boom. And we know that various services like Amazon Web Services are there, Microsoft Azure is there. So these are the cloud technologies on which you can store that data and analyze it online. So analyzing it, processing it, and then once you process it, you have to retrieve it in a secure manner. So security in healthcare is also playing important role, which we will be discussing about. So because it is a confidential and sensitive data, so we should also think of the security of our data. Though the data is available, but that should be kept in a secure way. So researchers should not think only taking an image and processing it with the deep learning, but whenever you are transferring the data, that data should be transferred over a secure channel is also very important thing. So what can be the tools? So tools for the health informatics is first is the medical terminology. So as I said that though we are computer engineers or we are an engineer, I'm not saying only computer engineers, but electronics, everyone is working in AI platform. So when you are an engineer, you may not have a certain medical background. So knowing the medical terminology is also very important. So when you are taking any problem statement, that time related to healthcare, it is very important to make a deep study or the thorough study of any medical terms related to that problem statement. Because see, though technology is evolving and technology is giving us a solution, but until we cannot replace doctors, because the knowledge and knowledge they have regarding the medical background, we cannot acquire it. But whenever we are developing a system, it should not go wrong, because it is very a sensitive issue. It is related to your any life critical movement. So because of that, medical terminology should be known to every researcher whenever it is working on any healthcare platform. Then information and communication systems. Here, information, as I said, the data is acquired, but when the data is transferred from that acquired device to any storage like a cloud, that time information and communication system plays an important role. Now, in the first lecture, Sir has also discussed about robotic assisted surgery. Now there is also one. This is robotic assisted surgery where robots are there and the doctors are sitting at the console. But if we can think of a tele-robotic surgery, the doctor can be anywhere in the world and the patient can be anywhere in the world. So if this kind of model is to be implemented, so that time fast communication network is very important without a delay. So that is very important. Lag should not be there, delay should not be there, and then it should not compromise of the quality of transmission of data and performing an action. So information and communication system also plays very important role in health informatics. And finally, the computer technology, where actually you are performing certain operations and you are finding or inferring certain knowledge from that particular process. So computer technology is to be developed. So healthcare informatics provides electronic access to medical records. And nowadays it is the information, all information is digitized. Is digitized, but in the previously the data was not digitized, so the electronic access was not there. So that was the challenge, and nowadays that bar is removed, and healthcare informatics is providing a electronic access to medical records for the patients, for the doctors, for the nurses, hospital administrators, even insurance company, and health information technicians. So, health informatics is revolutionized, and it is providing the backbone for decision support system in healthcare sector. Now, I will just, what is AI? So AI is, this term has introduced in 1956 by John McAfee, which is nothing but the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. So it is just nothing but the simulation of human intelligence in machines. So the machines are made to think like humans and mimic their actions. So mostly AI is rationalized to take actions to achieve certain goals. So that is the main principle of artificial intelligence. So now what could be the goals? It can be a learning. So learning, it may be a by experience, inputs and changing environment. If you think of a medical domain, what could be the learning? Learning may be like, we can say that if in this pandemic situation, coronavirus is spreading. So initially, when in March 2020 it was and it entered in the in India, then there were certain conceptions that because through this via media the infection is spreading and something, and then some another things have come that no, coronavirus is spreading also through air. So this type of things or this type of different inferring meaning are coming out by the experience. So learning those experience, so learning by experience is one of the goals of the artificial intelligence. Then problem solving, finding the solutions. So if a particular thing is happening, why it is happening? So why and how and what is the solution? That is the problem solving technique or problem solving characteristic of AI we use for the artificial intelligence. Reasoning is also very important. Why it has happened? So answering questions from available data. So reasoning, then planning. So planning is mostly used in robotics. So when we are thinking of telerobots, as sir right now said about humanoid. So humanoid is giving you certain answers based on certain actions or controls. It is taking certain actions. So this is like inferring the required step to reach a goal. So if the humanoid is asked to perform some action, then it has to take certain steps, and for that purpose, the robot is trained for. Same thing. Similarly, the perception, that is whatever data is there, understanding it. Okay, understanding the images, understanding the audio and languages. Mostly this type of perception is used in chatbots, where the nursing assistant, if we say that when the patient wants something, so understanding the language of patient and providing it a service, that is like a perception AI can provide. So why AI is so much important in healthcare? So according to PwC research, AI will contribute additional $15.7 trillion in global economic growth by 2030, and the largest impact of AI will be in the field of healthcare. And what are the reasons? First reason is like availability of health data. That is the important thing, because previously the data was not available. People were reluctant to share their personal data, and because of it, if data is not available, we know that AI techniques are data trusty. So until and unless we don't have data, we cannot find out the relations or correlations among the different instances. So that's why right now, nowadays, because of this sensor technology or Industry 4.0 revolution, there is an ease to retrieve the data or to acquire the data. Most of the people like us, we are also concerned about health, and we make use of Fitbit or different type of wristband through which we are monitoring different signals. But what those signals or what those bands are doing? They are generating a data, and that is continuously generated data, which is being then converted into statistics, which tells you that how much sleep you took, how much steps you walked off. So that is like the data is available. Then, though data is available, it is important to handle that huge data. To store, you should have the storage for that. That's why you have a cloud architecture available. And then there is a concept called as high dimensional data. In medical field, taking a single blood pressure may not tell you that what disease you are suffering from. So that time you have to see different other features of your body to actually or correctly diagnose the particular disease. So that time the number of features are so many that it becomes the high dimensional data. So once we are saying that it is high dimensional data, then obviously handling that high dimensional data, we need to develop complex algorithms to process that huge data in very less amount of time. So time is very important in healthcare, because when we are saying that let's say that one person was suffering from some one person is not well, he has different symptoms, but doctors are not able to diagnose what type of disease he is suffering from. And then if after something happens and then you are diagnosing that particular person is having certain let's say cancer or something like that, then that is not of use. So the providing the decisions or the conclusions or diagnosis in time is very important, and that's why we are available with high computational machines like GPUs and TPUs. And with this full-fledged infrastructure, AI has become so strong that it is impacting the healthcare industry and providing the revolutionizing the healthcare sector. So that's why hospitals are widely making use of AI technology. Even in Israel is very much leading in using of high-tech technologies. Even in medical sector, they are using this healthcare AI in healthcare sector for allocating beds, managing the whole hospital. Even you can see that there are certain sensor tags on the wrist of a patient, and all the information is kept on in that tag itself. And once that tag gets scanned, all the information of patient doctor can see at a while. So this is kind of a ubiquitous computing which is being carried out using the AI techniques. So that's why hospitals are widely making use of AI technology, disease prediction, then predicting mortality rate, warnings for infections like sepsis, like corona. So this is very important, and detecting this in early stages will help the society to recover or to they will be survive from the different life critical situations. Even self-diagnosis is also possible with AI, that we are talking about chatbots and something like that. So there are certain voice assistants are developed. Now these technologies are there, but when they are providing these assistance, there are certain there are certain lacunas, and on which we have to work upon. That is, being a researcher, there are lot many opportunities to improvise the technology. So that is only happening in the AI revolutions. So as said that IBM's Watson is developed for oncology purpose, medical image analysis. In the area of radiology, medical image medical image analysis, AI is playing an important role. And because of this, deep nets and deep learning technologies are available. These deep learning technologies can be are used efficiently for detecting the minute details of a particular image. Okay, so in this IBM's Watson, this is providing, as we are saying, that medical doctors are there, and they can diagnose the things from the medical images. That is true, but what this IBM Watsons has done, that they have used different research papers. Now sometimes it happens that we researchers do a research, publish articles, but those articles may go undetected, or no one takes account of it, and some of the very innovative technology may not be used for this image analysis. But what IBM Watson researchers had done is they have taken use the technology which are published in different research papers of related to cancer, and from that they were able to detect this cancerous thing from the tumors images which were not diagnosed by the medical professionals. So that type of accuracy this IBM Watson for oncology was able to give. So this is providing you the strong decision support system for taking certain actions based on the diagnosis. Patient creates that, as I said, that diabetic retinopathy. So diabetic retinopathy is also one of the upbringing research area where looking at the retina of a person, we can diagnose the person is suffering from diabetic or not. Around 30% of the population, global population are suffering from diabetic and losing their life, or we can also it is said that in corona also the people who are suffering from diabetic or kidney diseases are more prone to this corona and get more infections, and the recovery rate is also low. So diabetic is affecting people, and this Google DeepMind is able to diagnose the eye, looking at the retina of eye, they can able to diagnose the diabetic person, and with which we can also find out the emergencies. So to whom to give priority? Now here we were knowing that during this COVID pandemic, in between months, nowadays the rate of the recovery is increased, and patients reported patients are less, but initially there were many people, and people were not getting the beds in the hospitals. So that time it happened that people who are not in need of ICUs also, but because of the lack of availability of beds, they were admitted in ICUs, and the person or the patient which were really in need of the ICU facilities were not able to get it, and because of that they have lost their lives. So this can be avoided by the technology. How that based on the analysis and detection and diagnosis, the emergency or the priority of the patient, the emergency level can be decided, and based on that you can also give a lot of beds to the patient. The patient who are in more need of a particular facility will be given a preference. So this is possible with the AI technology. The next thing is the drug discovery. So drug discovery, right now we all are, or the whole world is eagerly waiting for the vaccine on the corona. And these pharma companies are doing a lot of research to finding a vaccine on this corona thing. But why they are not able to get it? So that is the question. That nowadays there is so much healthcare like AI technology is there, like various techniques are available. Then also they are not able to get the drug or the vaccine for the particular disease. Even even AIDS HIV doesn't have a perfect drug for recovering, or cancer has not got a perfect curing drug for it. So why it is so, and how being a researcher we can contribute in it. So it is not just taking an image, but just taking the gene expressions, looking at the gene expression which drug affects or reacts to the particular type of gene expressions. Can the correlation among these drugs and genes can be found out, and with that the new drugs can be discovered. So this is one of the emerging area where community is in need of different drugs on some of the diseases which are not yet available, and where we can change the inputs, use the technology, understand the medical terms, and find out the solutions. This is all about a disease detection and something like that. But as I said that the healthcare sector doesn't only related to disease detection, but the healthcare sector is also looking this as an industry. This is an industry. Doctors are there, professionals are there, medical people are there, pharmaceutical companies are there, and they are coming with different products. So they are looking it as a business. So when it is a business, then patients become the customers of them. And obviously, as this is a healthcare industry, obviously it is contributing to the economic growth of our country too. So the more the facilities are, more the healthcare services are, obviously the country is going to be strong, because you can see that because of this pandemic, the economic growth of our country has gone down. So how it can be recovered? If you have a strong backbone of a healthcare facilities. So that is so making this healthcare industry strong is also very important, and for which also AI can give you the contribution. So we were like previously, whenever we go to a doctor, you have to wait for in a long queue, and the person who is already suffering from something, he is in pain, and then also he has to wait for its turn. So because this can be avoided with scheduling, different mobile apps are coming into picture, like doctor's appointment kind of thing, and with this we can schedule the appointments, and there will be an ease in contacting the doctors. Now you must have heard that we always not only for income tax purpose, but mediclaim is also very important, because nothing is through body, what will happen to us, what is happening in a body is not, it is an uncertain thing. So for that purpose, we always go for a mediclaim, that if any certain emergencies happen, some high expenses on medical with the AI techniques, we will go certain bit technical thing, that in AI we have ample of techniques. So many people have come up with different techniques which can be used for the same problem statement. And with this, or you should, being a researcher, you should also be able to find out or decide the correct technique for the correct problem statement. That is very important. So AI is a big umbrella actually, and in that we have different techniques, like machine learning is there, deep learning is there, natural language processing is there, fuzzy logic is there, expert system, smart intelligence, genetic algorithm, robotics. These are some of the important and widely used techniques, but there are many more. So initially, when we used to say AI, we only know about A-star algorithm. But now AI has become an umbrella, and in that under that umbrella there are various techniques. So the widely used technique is machine learning, where we are making able to machine to learn from the experiences, build a model, and then use that model for predicting something, classifying something, or clustering something. So that is like unsupervised, supervised, semi-supervised learning, and predictive analytics is there, descriptive analytics is there, and that is possible with these machine learning techniques. So we make use of these techniques. Previously we were using this technique, now the techniques is now revolving, and now we are moving towards the deep learning. So now what is deep learning actually? You can see in the era of 1980s, everyone used to use neural network. Now what was this neural network? It is the mimicry of the mimiction of the human brain, where there are certain synaptic things which are connecting to the different nodes, and through which it is learning something and it is providing in certain classification. It is kind of a supervised learning, and we have to deal with the weights and biases. Now this was doing a great thing. Then why it has been replaced with this deep learning neural network? Now deep learning neural network is an extension of deep learning only. But what is there? There are multiple hidden layers. The hidden layers are increased. Now if you have worked in the neural network, you must have heard about the term called as curse of dimensionality. Curse of dimensionality means what? So I said that in medical domain, even if you take a single image, MRI image, it has ample number of features. Now, taking these features and from that inferring certain things, it was very tedious task, and if the number of features goes on increasing, it becomes a high dimensional data, and then the neural network was suffering from this vanishing gradient kind of problem where the weight stops updating, and because of that you were getting a less accuracy. So for that purpose, you to come up or the work upon this problem of curse of dimensionality, the deep learning neural network is introduced. Now, the initial stages of this deep neural network was like finding out a feature map from the features, and then you have there will be a pooling layer which will extract the only important features from it, and this is all will be done automatically. In neural network, what you have to do is you have to first extract the features, and then extracted features you have to give to the input node of neural network. But now in the deep neural network, what this is done, you have to just give an image, and from that the feature map will be constructed with the the CNN level, and with that CNN level the pooling layer will extract the only important features, and this will be carried out, and the DNN is has given a promising result where we are getting a high accuracy in short amount of time. Yes, DNN is taking lot of time to get trained because it requires lot of data. So if you have heard about ImageNet, now this ImageNet is a database of images. Most of the people are making use of this ImageNet. So it has millions of images on which that neural network, that is deep neural network, is trained, and it has around 1,000 classes. Now, what these 1,000 classes are telling you about? So now, if you want to find out a leaf classification, if you want to find out or classify MRI images, if I want to find out the USG images, if you want to analyze the X-ray images, in all these different category of images are developed or kept in that ImageNet dataset. So for the researchers, this is also one of the research area where you can develop the databases. Okay, so generating a databases for a particular problem statement is itself is a research, because you are helping the research community for performing the extended research on your data. So if I say that if you have heard about physionet.org, that is that site has different biological signals recorded for a patient, and I said that patients are reluctant to share their data, that is confidential information. The patient ID is kept confidential, but that data, the signals are available for the researchers to perform the
पण काय होतं त्याच्यामध्ये सर की मॅडम सरांना म्हटलं पैसे द्यायला, कॉन्ट्रीब्युशन असतं तर कोणीही दिलं नाही, आणि मी पण दिलं नाही का सरांनी प्रोडक्शन.
Yes, madam, you can continue.
बिल दिलं आणि त्याचे पैसे घेतले. असं केलं की ते एक एचओडी दुसऱ्या एचओडीला सांगितलं पैसे घेतले नाही आणि बिल ते करून.
Okay, so that was the beauty of deep learning. But when I'm saying deep learning, so is it necessary that every time, whenever any problem statement has come, no, now we are not going to use machine learning, we will be only using deep learning? It should not be the case, because based on the problem statement, the technique which you should use are changing. If you are getting a good result with machine learning algorithm, why should you opt for deep learning? Deep learning are to deal with the high dimensional data, to deal with the then it has its own cons, that it will require the high processing unit like GPUs, and it takes a time to get trained. it has also the disadvantage of vanishing gradient and exploding gradient, where you should carry out a regularization kind of methods to overcome on it. But if researchers had to think intelligently while choosing the techniques, AI techniques, for finding out a remedy for a problem statement, because the accuracy, the time consumed, the facility required, the time required for developing a system is also very important. So cost effective system, accurate system, the speed of a system is also the other parameters to be think of while developing a system. Even if you can think of expert systems initially was used for the medical domain, where all the medical rules are, they are like a logic based system where medical rules are stored in this expert system, and with these expert systems the particular inputs were given, and accordingly we could have a informed decisions. The genetic algorithm is one of the area of the way of which is used. This is based on the mutation of the genes and survival of the fittest. On this principle, this genetic algorithm is used. Natural language processing is nowadays in boom. Now, when I mentioned that in the IBM Watson has used the research papers, and from that research papers, whatever techniques they have extracted, those techniques they have used, it may be a parameters which have been mentioned for detecting a cancer, because sometimes it may happen some of the features we haven't considered, and because of that a particular disease is not correctly diagnosed. So when they did this type of grouping of research articles, these are related to medical domain. So when it is happening, then you will require the text mining kind of thing. So this is a type of AI technique where you can group the documents based on the topic and content. So understanding what that particular text topic document contains, and from that extracting the important context is a challenging task. And with we have a ample or huge amount of medical literature available. Even if you can think of Ayurvedas. So in Ayurveda, lot of remedies, Ayurvedic remedies are provided, but we have not read them. Maybe for the corona also, some of the remedies are present, but as that those particular documents are not digitized and not analyzed with this AI techniques, you are not aware of that particular remedy. Nowadays, people are converting the Modi Lipi kind of text document, which has certain important information with the help of this text mining and NLP techniques. So this is also one of the area where you can contribute in medical sector, where medical documents are clustered. The important information is converted from one language to another, and from that we can have the different remedies for the different diseases. So that is related to NLP. It is also nowadays used for chatbots, but think in a different way, that where text can be understood and interpreted. So I say one of the goals of the AI is the perception. How you can see, how you see the particular input and understand and interpret it is very important, and how you are making your machine to understand this thing is important. In fuzzy logic is one of the techniques. So we say that a particular person is having a diabetes or the sugar level is increased. So once in a particular pathological report you got a high sugar. So should you say that this person is having diabetes? Everything in medical domain cannot be counted as ones and zeros. So there are certain uncertainties. So if you want to model those uncertainties, that time fuzzy logic kind of techniques are helpful. So you can have the different functions, fuzzy functions, and based on those functions, you can design a system where you can model the uncertainties. Even the genetic algorithm, I said, the robotics. So robotics is playing robot-assisted surgeries, and in the humanoid for the nursing, like a nursing assistant. Here we can use the robots in the healthcare sector also, and we are going to see in detail that what are the advantages of using a robotic system for particular operations or medical care. So these are all a brief about AI techniques which are available and researchers can use. We know these techniques, but what each technique is doing and how we can use this technique for a particular problem statement is very important. So here, the neural network I said, so MIT researchers have developed this voxel mark, this was a fast CNN for the MRI analysis, and they have trained this voxel mark with 7,000 MRI scans, and this has been processed or accelerated for 1,000 times, and then the model got trained, and then it was tested with the new 250 MRI scans, and which was giving a very good accuracy with as compared to the medical diagnosis done by the medical practitioner. So this medical imaging and diagnosis, AI is playing an important role. So you may have CT scans, you may have X-rays or USG of any type of this in the images available with the field of radiology. You can make use of for applying the machine learning or AI techniques. This was all about images, but there are certain vital parameters which are not yet considered, or nowadays they have been considered for detecting the diseases or diagnosing people with the diseases. One of the vital parameters is the breath of a person. So when you are breathing, lot many gases or this particular amount of gases are being exhaled by you, and those exhaled gases themselves can tell whether you are suffering from a particular disease or not. So one of the research my BE students have carried out and developed a system for a diabetes people, that this was a system which is for, it is a non-invasive system. Now what do you mean by non-invasive and invasive systems? When you give a blood sample, obviously the injection is inserted in your body, and then the blood samples are taken. So whenever it is put in your body and something is taken, that becomes an invasive technique. And then instead of that, when you are taking a sample of breath or you're just taking a photograph, it is kind of a non-invasive technique. So this is kind of a non-invasive technique where breath is taken for analysis, and with the breath of a person, we can detect whether a person is suffering from a diabetes or not. There are different types of diabetes. You have a type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So there is one gas component, that is acetone level, which can tell you about the presence of acetone level in your breath, and with which we can find out the patterns of breathing, from which we can detect whether a person is suffering from diabetic or not. So breath is also becoming one of the media or the input with which you can detect a person is having a diabetes or not, or any other diabetes. So thinking of cancer, is it possible that cancer can be also detected with breath analysis? So there is a study came up, and you can see here there are different types of cancer which have been recorded here: lung cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, gastric cancer, colorectal cancer, and with these cancers can also be diagnosed at the early stages. That is very important. Then whenever we say that cancer is devastating disease, actually, so it is like we can go in depression because of this type of disease, because it doesn't have a cure, and the whatever remedies or whatever treatments are available are very terrific, and it is disturbing of the whole body of yours. So this is so if we can detect the cancer at early stages is also very important. So breath is one of the methodology. Analyzing the breath of a person, we can predict whether a person will be suffering or will cause a cancer or not. So this is the study, and with which we can think of doing the apply the AI techniques and finding out the patterns and contents from the breath and detect a particular disease like cancer in an early stages. So there is a concept called as artificial olfaction. So this is related to the odors or the smells, and with that smell we can say that a particular smell tells about the disease condition of a human body. So you can see that this type of acetone, isoprene, this type of things are there. If they are present in breath, this person is suffering from this diabetes or renal function or ulcers or asthma. So this is possible with the breath analysis. Talking about my research now, this is also one of my research candidates is performing artificial olfaction, this breath analysis for cancer. This is diabetic research by my BE students. The research which we carried out with respected Dr. Vadai sir, that is AI for preventive care. So when we always say that prevention is better than cure. So prevention is better than cure. When we are saying this, okay, so we should continuously monitoring our body changes. That is very important. So the concept was introduced. This concept was introduced in 2011 by us, and we had also patented this system, and we had got a patent also on this system in 2020. We had filed it in 2011, and we got a patent in 2020. Huge span of time, but still you can see that this technology is now proven that whatever concept we have given is been now proven. So there is a concept called as wireless body sensor network. So this is a combination of Internet of Things and machine learning. The techniques are different. When we are saying data mining, you use decision trees, you use data stream mining, depending on the data, like it can be a time series analysis. So the signals like ECG, EEG, or blood pressure, or let's say blood oxygen saturation, these are the vital signals, and every signal indicates something, indicates the body changes which are happening in the human body. So with the sensor technology, if you continuously monitor this sensor data, what we can do, this was the model in which we need to find out the features, and these features are being then analyzed and find out the changes in the features in real time to predict whether a person is under a risk or not. There is a case study, recent case study, there's a person called as Scott Heelan, and he was using, this technology is used in this Apple Watch. If you can observe, Apple Watch is there, Fitbit is there, and what they have the different sensors embedded in this type of embedded machine, and this is continuously sensing your blood pressure, your heart rate, your all movement, body movement, that is called as EMG signals, okay, muscular signals. So these signals are being sensed by this type of machine, and then whatever are the changes happening in those machines, so the patterns, every person or every different body will have their own pattern or normal behavior. If the person is deviating or the person's signals are deviating from the normal behavior, then there is a chance of risk. So that is the simple logic in this patent. Now, this is being monitored continuously by this type of watches. The Scott Heelan, the person I was telling about, he was 50 he was 50 and he was totally fit. He was doing exercising and everything was fit. And he has also taken a fitness test and everything, like stress test he did, and all the reports came normal. Now, one day when he was sleeping, he got continuously got an alarm from this Apple Watch. It's saying that his blood pressure is very high. Now he was, because of this alert, he got irritated and he saw, and for the curiosity purpose, he went to the doctor. And then when the doctors took out his ECG, it was totally normal. But when they have taken certain blood sample and seen, there is a test for seeing the event of heart attack, and that your blood can tell you that even if your ECG is normal right now, but it may happen that few hours back you may have gotten heart attack or a mild heart attack. So these type of symptoms can be seen by the pathological report. When they did that thing, they got this thing that yes, he had got a mild heart attack when his blood pressure has gone up. So all this alert, and for this all pathological report and medical diagnosis, he had spent a lot of money, because you know that in US the medical facilities are very costly. Until and unless you have a medical or insurance, then you cannot afford it. So he has seen that this kind of device has alerted him, and he has gone to a hospital, and he has survived from such kind of life critical event because of this kind of system. So this is not yet widely used, and still these type of watches are not yet perfect to provide the alerts. They are also needing certain changes or enhancement which we have already proposed. If they have included in this, then we can predict if person is going to have a heart attack or something else in before time, and we can provide and preventive care for this type with the help of this type of architecture. So researchers should think of that if like a breath, how we can make use of these vital signals for monitoring the body changes. Though they are real time, this is type of a time series analysis data. CNNs are used for this type of image analysis, but they also can be used for regression model. So we can have a time series analysis with the type of RNN models, recurrent neural network, or LSTM, that is short-term memory. So because we need sequence of events, it is not the value which has happened or which you have right now, but you will require certain historical information before that particular time. If you analyze the changes and compare the changes from the whole signal to the next signal, current signal, then you can compare whether there are certain drastic changes. And these changes may indicate the alarm to you as whether there is a health risk or not. So this kind of development is also possible using this type of different signals. This was the generalized model, but same thing, like Sir said, you can see this. This is a ECG wave, and this is PQRST. So this many of you haven't seen this ECG, or if you have visited a hospital, then you must have seen in ICU such kind of waves are flashing on that particular monitoring board. But what they indicate, these four PQRST signals are representing a lot many things of the body state of a person. And if you analyze this particular PQRST signal, you can have this QRS detection for heart rate. This ST segment is there. This is also representing the curve and the shape and the time is also representing some body state. There are kind of different diseases called as arrhythmia. So arrhythmia is changing in heart rhythm. So change in heart rhythm can be detected with this type, analyzing this ECG type of waves. So some people may have a low heart rate and some people may have the fast heart rate. And if this type of heart rate is abnormal, yes, the body is telling you something and you have to see the doctor and you have to take the certain precautions based on it. So your technology developed with this type of ECG signal analysis will tell you many things for saving the people's life. This was about ECG signal, but this is a blood oxygen level, that is SpO2. Nowadays, no one has thought of keeping the oximeter with you. But nowadays, due to this pandemic situation of COVID, everyone is checking their SpO2 level. You have this type of oximeter? I think everyone has this type of oximeter with them. You can see the healthcare industry is making money from constructing or providing such devices which were not in demand previously. So this is like a business intelligence which can be applied. This is a business intelligence, is also a part of artificial intelligence only, which is applied by health industry based on the needs and demands of the health sector. So you can think of that remdesivir medicine. People were not knowing it about, but now people are buying it. Like one of my relatives have got corona and he had been injected with the 11 remdesivir injection. And we don't know, people are saying it has been given through stomach, it is given through the syringe or something like that. But people are making money with these medicines. But if you take the utmost care during this corona thing and watch your signals yourself, then you can help yourself without admitting to the getting into the hospital. So this signal which I wanted to tell you about, this SpO2 signal. Now whether person is suffering from corona or not, whether the oxygen saturation level is going down or not, sometimes it happens that person is suffering from corona, but then also his oxygen level is okay, then he is not in a critical condition. But how many times you will keep track of or keep eye on this type of signals? So for that purpose, if that in that oximeter only, if we embed a technology where it will continuously monitor the signal changes of SpO2 and telling whether its oxygen level or oxygen saturation level is going down, keeping in a correct normal phase or giving an alarm, will help the person to avoid himself to going into a life critical situation. So these vital signals are also playing an important role where artificial intelligence can take it as an information, and with this information can be analyzed for predicting or diagnosing a disease. So as I'm saying about health informatics, it doesn't relate to only machine learning or deep learning, but it also relates to what data or what input you are taking for analyzing purpose and for predicting something. Okay, so that is also very important. So this is related to real-time analysis of SpO2, which will help for COVID-19 monitoring. And here you can apply the AI techniques for analyzing or predicting or classifying a patient record, whether it is suffered from corona or not. In the series, everyone is talking about emotional intelligence, and this is one of the topic with the Vadaisa's and Vadaisa's guidance. We have carried out with our another colleague, that is real-time depression analysis. Here, right now, lot many suicidal cases are happening. You can take an example of Sushant Singh, you can take an example of Sheetal Amte, you can take an example of one of the actress who has made an Vijeta Lekha, who has made a suicide. Why they are doing all these things? Because as we are saying that technology is evolving, the life has become very fast, and because of that, the stress level of a person has gone up. When it is happening, we are not understanding that this is affecting our human body. We are saying that yes, everything is okay, अरे हंसता खेलता होता. So चेहरे पे मत जाओ. Every time we always say that everything is not shown on your face, but internally there are happening something, and that is told by your vital signals. One of the important vital signals related to your emotions are EEG signals. These EEG signals have got various portions. It has alpha, beta, gamma kind of frequencies in your brain signal, and those frequencies are telling you that whether a person is suffering from a depression, whether it is emotionally stressed, down, or afresh. So this is possible with this depression type of analysis, and you can see the technology is evolving. That now, initially, when you want to find out a EEG signal or record an EEG signal, you have to see the doctor or psychiatrist. You have to put leads on your brain, and then through those leads, you are going to get the signal. But now the technology is evolved, and with which such kind of beds directly can give you the analysis or the values of your EEG signals. And these EEG signals, if we use for analysis purpose, then you can get certain patterns in your brain signals, and those brain signals can be used to predict whether a person is suffering from depression or not. And now this is kind of a preventive care you can take, as we can save lives of people with this type of technology. So when people are saying, or medical practitioners are worried that is AI is going to replace doctors, no. So it is not a replacement, but it is an assistance given to the medical professionals, so that the medical professionals will get more strong to detect the disease in an efficient manner, in an accurate manner, and in a speedy manner, so that if before any critical situation occurs, before that they can take certain preventive actions. So now I just said that in healthcare, features or the data is very high dimensional. So that is very important, that you should not rely on only facial expression. You should not rely only the vital signal like EEG. You can say that there are certain combination of things happening in your body and your expressions, and those all combinations will give you the accurate decisions. So sometimes it happens that your accuracy is not getting, or precision is not that up to that level. Now why it is so? Because you may not consider the whole all the parameters which are required for that particular disease prediction or analysis. So here the parameter discussion, parameter construction, and extractions are very important. Here we have done the fusion technique. We have used a fusion technique. Not only we have considered the parameters like face. We have taken voice. We have taken EEG signals, and also some of the parameters like age, gender, marital status, some habits, and taking all these things. Yes, we can get a good accuracy. Excuse me. We are getting good accuracy with such kind of system, where we consider many of the parameters which are relevant. Yes, we have to think the relevant parameters and non-relevant parameters. Sometimes it happens that it becomes a overfitting. Overfitting means what? That you are not you are considering the parameters which are not providing much information. And if you are developing such a model or type of overfitting type of model, it will not always give a good result. So if the parameters which are not relevant, like whether I was having a girlfriend or not, will tell me whether I am depressed or not. This can be the cases in some of the situation, but not all the situation will have this parameter. So if you apply this parameter for all the cases, your model will get trained in different manner. And because of that, this kind of thing is called as overfitting, which should be avoided while doing a machine learning. So this was about real-time depression analysis. Now there is one more research area, and interesting thing is called as brain-computer interface. In this also, the researchers are contributing a lot, and AI is performing a great role in this. You must have identified this person. It is a great physicist, Stephen Hawking. So the person or the man who has given us a concept of black hole. So he was so intelligent, but he was totally paralyzed, and he was suffered from motor neuron disease. So, and because of that, though he wanted to say many things, and he has a ample amount of knowledge, how he could have talked or convey these all concepts to the world without this type of technology. So you can see his specialized chair where he used to communicate with its brain signals, eyes, and the vibrations. So this type of haptic feedback is taken, analyzed, interpreted, and understood by the people through this type of brain-computer interface. So this is like it refers to the system that establishes a direct connection between the nervous system and an electronic device. So this is upcoming technology. People are using this technology, and many researchers are contributing in visually impaired people, deaf and dumb people. So for them also, now with the help of AI, people are developing a system, like you can say that there is a stick for the blind people. There is a software which is for the indoor navigation, where using there is no possibility of using a GPS technology in their home itself, but there are certain object detection and hazard avoidance algorithms which have been developed for guiding this type of visual impaired people to roam around in a mall or in their own home with the AI technology. Even for the deaf and dumb people, the different NLP techniques are being used, where you can see that the sign languages are there, and these sign languages are being converted into actions and understood by the people, and how they are going to communicate on their mobile if they can't speak, if they can't do anything. So in that case, if those sign languages, if you can convert to NLP processing and convey the thoughts to the people, is very important. So when I started this my research in this medical domain, I have seen this topic as how my research will help society society and benefit the society, and the research is like that is the satisfaction I'm getting when I'm coming with some research and some innovative solutions in this healthcare sector. So this is a social cause, I can say, and researchers are looking in this manner, which is very nice thing happening. We always say that बाई हा प्रत्येक घराचा एक आधार असतो, and when we say that woman is a backbone of any family, मुलगी शिकली, प्रगती झाली, all these things are there, but women are suffering from so many diseases, and that is a requirement that we should, all researchers should also contribute for the diseases which are happening, or which with humans are suffering from. So many women, when during the pregnancy, go through cesarean, there will be miscarriages, and they don't get immediate medical facilities during this pregnancy, or life critical situations of pregnancy. So in that case, if our AI or our technology can help women to come out of to provide certain assistance, then it will be a great help. Even we can say that there are the women are suffering from breast cancer, cervical cancer. They are suffering from ovarian cancer or cyst. These are happening internally in woman body, and it is disturbing the whole family. So if you can develop the solution which will keep women healthy, then that will be a great help to the society and community. One of the solution for this pregnancy monitoring, sometimes it happens that miscarriages happen, preterm the birth is happening, cesarean deliveries are happening, and because of all these operative things, the bodies of women are affecting. So if you can, this is the system in which all the parameters, vital parameters, plus the cervix monitoring, remote cervix monitoring is possible, and all whatever changes of the fetus is happening is being monitored smartly, and with that monitoring, it can tell you, give you the alarms and the perfect due date. Then lot many accidents we can avoid, and pregnant women can get the medical facility in on time. Okay, we always see that on the sometimes the pregnant woman got delivered in plane itself. So if the alarms are given to the pregnant woman beforehand, then they could avoid that travel, and such kind of events can be stopped. Okay, so this type of monitoring system is possible with AI technology. Now, we are right now talking about all allopathic thing, all imaging analysis, and about the allopathy or operative care. But Bharat or India has got, we can say that Ayurvedaचा वारसा मिळाला. So this Ayurvedic medicine is playing or coming into picture and proving the very good remedies for the different diseases. Though it has a slow impact, but it doesn't have much more side effects. So looking at only the nadi of a person, so we can predict a particular person is suffering from some of the diseases or not. And with this prediction, we can give the preventive actions or remedies for the particular person. So Ayurveda, we have got a lot many literature of it, and we know that a person has 3 different prakrutis, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and based on those prakrutis, we can provide by analyzing the nadi of a person, we can predict a person's disease. So here also AI is providing AI is acting as a tool for nadi pariksha. So there are certain examples of, there are 3, I have got these Nadi Swara and Nadi Tarangini kind of app, where they have used this Nadi Tarangini app for diabetes and cardiac fertility disease prediction. Okay, so it has a great potential where people are not yet coming with the remedies which are present in the Ayurveda. And with this type of technology, we can provide much more and nice medical solutions and accurate solutions and we can save the lives of people and make the people's life happy. Okay, so here you can see they have used decision trees and machine learning for this Nadi Pariksha. Now you can see then when I am saying I am coming to such kind of problem statement, I have to think that where I will get the database of Nadi. So and how I will record it. So that is the main challenge. So inputs, acquisition of input is very important. So that's why the researchers can put their energy of developing a database which will be helpful for other people, other researchers, so that they can do the further studies. So that creating a database is also itself will be a research. So nowadays that trend and a very good trend is there that people whatever they are developing they are putting it on a GitHub. So that is very important because starting from a scratch will be wasting the energy of both the people who have already developed and who is going to develop. Instead of that, the person who has developed it, if he made that code available to others, then researchers can make an extension to it. So that is the mentality researchers should have, so that they can make available their data to others for use. Maybe they can charge something, but still they should not hide it like a trade secret, so that Coca-Cola people are not able to have the same taste right now, because that test was the formula of Coca-Cola was the trade secret. So that should not happen in medical domain at least, because this is a cause for human life and people should be open to make available their research to others so that they can extend it further and enhance it further. So this was the AI tool for Nadi Pariksha, Nadi Swara. So this instrument will sound about your health by taking your Nadi or pulse. So same thing, it was taking a Nadi and telling you about the what your Nadi is telling, what is your health status, and if this is the health status, what it is going to give you the prescriptions of what type of therapy like acupuncture, acupressure, or something sleep therapy you should go about. Talking about now robotic surgery. Most of the speaker before me have already spoke about robotic surgery, but I will just touch upon this thing, that how lot many problem statements are in itself are there in this type of robotic surgery, and why we should go for this, or why people are recommending for robotic surgery. So we should have the in 2010-12, my mother has got a knee replacement surgery. Both the knees are being replaced, and at a time, and we were very concerned what will happen. But now she is totally perfect. She can walk on her feet, and she is totally independent. But nowadays, this robot-assisted surgeries have come up, and they have their own pros and cons. So you can see here that there is a robot arms used to operate electric scalpel, and there is a camera. And the doctor is sitting here who can see the live view of this human body here, which is providing certain control and action to this wrist and robot's wrist. Okay, so based on that, how the scans are going on, how the operation is carried out. So you can see how this is comparison between conventional and robotic surgery, where you can see what are the human limitations and what are the robot strengths, or you can compare what are the human strengths and what are the robot limitations. So you being a human, being a doctor, you have a strong hand and eye coordination, dexterous, flexible and adaptable, can integrate extensive and diverse information, rudimentary haptic abilities. So that is not possible in robot, but robot provides good geometric accuracy. So if it is saying this angle, so that angle is not going to change. Then the pressure which it is to be given, if that is been decided, that pressure is not varied. So the accuracy, the how the robots, the actions are given and how robots are operated are totally decided. Okay, so that is the beauty of robotic surgery. So stable and untiring. If the person is asked to do the same task again and again, so first time we do very enthusiastically, but the next time when we do that, then again we are going to like that enthu is not there. So let's say the surgery like hair weaving. So hair weaving, so many hairs are waved on the bald head. So in that case, the accuracy which will be provided by robot will not be possible, may not be possible with the human. Okay, so if the task has become repetitive, the accuracy will go on decreasing in case of humans. But then, if you think of machine, they will do the same task again and again with that the same efficiency and accuracy. So that is the advantages of robotic surgeries. So they can use diverse sensors, maybe sterilized. So chances of infections are also less in robotic surgery. So and resistant to radiation and infection. So because of this radiation, even if the medical practitioner is also prone to radiation, so that is susceptible to radiation and infection. But if you are using robot, you can avoiding that chances. So talking about AI, how AI will help this robotic surgery, you can see you have this type of different pre-operative inputs, intraoperative inputs, and then you can apply so many supervised and unsupervised learning algorithm for, let's say, 3D shape instantiation, depth instantiation, visual odometry, structural mapping, feature tracking, image registration. So all this is possible. You can see here that when the doctor is operating at console, it is very important to train the doctor on virtual environment, because the looking at the similar thing that in a bare eyes and on the console may be something different. So that training must be provided to the doctors for training to use that robot remotely. Okay, the famous robot which has been used now since so long is Da Vinci. So this is a surgical robot possible, but for that purpose, localization and mapping, augmented reality is used, so that the doctor will get a feel that actually he is operating on the patient itself. Then only that correct, you can say andaz, they can get with the while doing the operations. Okay. Okay. Now talking about AI for healthcare industry. Now I am going for the economic growth point of thing. We have many things we have discussed about the actual diseases, disease prediction, different inputs we can take, the different techniques we can apply, and now the business intelligence in healthcare. Now this is also one of the branch of artificial intelligence where people are looking this as a healthcare industry. So here also people are thinking of how to attract patients. Why there are so many boards of robotic surgery and everything of different hospitals are put on? They are doing an advertising. There is a competitors as a hospitals there, and now they have to attract the patient to come to their hospital and have the surgery. They have different doctors, so they have to also advertise the thing to improvise the business. And for improving the business, they have to improvise the services provided to the patients. So like automatic scheduling appointments or reminders given to patient. Now if I book an appointment, I'm taking an example of Sancheti Hospital, that when I book an appointment, I get a reminder call on a day before the appointment is. So this is like a service people, the hospital care system are provided to attract the customers and to avoid patient churning. Churning means what? That you should not lose your customers or patient. So for that purpose, the facilities provided in the hospital is very important. So that is there. Even sometimes the facility is such type that even if there is no assistant, human assistant, then also the patient who wants to do inquiry should not miss out. That's why there are certain medical assistants or robotic assistants provided like a chatbots where sometimes it happens that we know that we are using or we are made to download Arogya Setu app. So Arogya Setu app, it was doing that you have to enter your information and you have to self-assess yourself, self-health assessment you have to do, and you have to put that data on that Setu app. Now, here whatever we are saying and based on the information we have entered, it is telling you whether you are safe or not. And even it is finding out the proximity within which no other COVID patient has come and telling you that whether you are green zone or whether you are in red zone. So this is like a self-health assessment. But that Arogya Setu app can be improvised with the chatbot, where instead of just reading a question and entering the information, if there would be a voice assistant and it is asking, are you okay? Are you having a fever? Are you having a cold and cough? And what is your location? If these questions are being asked to the patient and then patient is entering something or just talking and that is been converted into information, that is speech to text conversion. If this type of technology is embedded in a mobile health app, then that patient is getting the feel that it is actually talking to some assistant, and therefore they will become a more comfortable in a thing, and obviously they are not reluctant to provide the information. So that is the kind of self-health assessment. So when you are doing this or developing this voice assistant, the telling this that chatbot will be there, but how much amount of processing and what are the different steps of NLP to be carried out for this is will be known to AI researchers. So what they do, they have to do the tagging, remove the stop words, they have to do the lemmatization, they have to do named entity recognition, lot of probability and statistics will be there, and there will be a corpus to be embedded, because it may happen that some of the questions are not been the chatbot is not trained for, and that time you may not get the correct answer. Lot many times I ask something different to Siri and Siri is telling me giving me the information which is wrong. So this should not happen. So there are still the scope of improvising the systems, training the system so that you will get the more accuracy and correct answers. So that is the field of research there, where NLP techniques can be used in the chatbot for medical assistance. So that is there. So as you see, this graphic chatbot returns a response based on the input from a user. So there is all NLP involved in this. You have to have a corpus. You have to do the tagging. You have to find out the stop words. You have to do the lemmatization. You have to do the CFG kind of thing, probability statistics. You have to apply different n-gram models. You have to create, and then you will have a named entity recognition, and finally you will have certain sequence of treatment. Here also for training this thing, you will require RNN kind of thing, that is recurrent neural network, for training this system. Just a minute. So this is all about business intelligence, where based on the needs and demands the healthcare industry. Now here also visual analytics, there is a concept called as data visualization. So the big data is there. So data is there, but if it is numbers, for what you will understand from this raw data. But if you put it on a map, like a tree map, even if you go on a site of WHO, I will just show you the site of WHO. Is this site visible? WHO coronavirus disease?
Not yet, madam. We are able to see your presentation, PPTs, I mean, PowerPoint, this thing.
Achha, okay. Now it is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is a WHO site, and here you can see the ample amount of data is being listed. So you have cumulative total, you have newly reported in 24 hours, cumulative the deaths happening, what is the transmission classification. So now, and this is all globally, country-wise data you are getting. You can see here also the overview. So here, these are nothing but maps, and these colors are representing something to you. The cases, in which area the cases are more and something. So here, this visualization techniques are applied. This is business intelligence, data visualization. And instead of seeing these numbers like 89,416, you can just see the color of this region and say that what type of infections in this country is there. And you can directly compare it on seeing the graph. And here you can also apply the visual analytics, visual data mining, so that directly from seeing at a graph only you can infer certain information or the decisions you can take looking at a graph itself. So this is one of the area where instead of dealing with numbers, you can deal with graphs and you can do the graphical analysis with the help of AI techniques. You can see these graphs are telling you, giving you the numbers, and every day they are changing, and these change graphs can be analyzed and can be given to the your network, and from this you can get the inferred decisions or rules with which you can take certain actions, business intelligence actions for the same. So this is one of the areas of health sectors where you can analyze, or there is a worldometer is also there where you can see the numbers and graphs with which you can see whether the disease is infecting, spreading, or it is in recovered mode, and accordingly the government policies are also changing. So governments are keeping eye on this type of graphs, and these graphs are then helping the people or helping the upper personnel to take certain decisions. Just a minute. Okay. So that was about visual analytics, where AI is also helping for analyzing the global situation, pandemic situation in the world. Now let's talk about certain mysterious diseases. Now the diseases which are like, when we are saying corona is also a mysterious disease because it doesn't have a perfect symptoms, and or its symptoms are colliding with other diseases, and because of that they are very difficult to identify. Now these are nothing but I am discussing about the challenges, research challenges where researchers can contribute. Now you must have heard about the news about Saharanpur fever. It is a great mystery. This Saharanpur is a city in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and here every year in the monsoon season the children gets a fever, and most of the children die each year. Around 400 children die each year, and physicians and medical practitioners are unable to find the reason what is the cause of death, because it was just a fever and nothing else is happening. Then also children are dying because of this type of fever. And the possible reasons the medical practitioners are come out with, that there is a weed called as Kasundi, Pramad or Cassia, which is there, which comes in the month of monsoons, and if the children gets into vicinity of this type of weed, they get this type of fever. But now the mystery is, the same weed in Ayurveda is recommended for as a medicine for the jaundice or to treat a chronic cough. So now the plant, which is Ayurvedic medicine, how can it affect the children and cause the death of the children? So that is a mysterious thing, and no one has got till now the remedy for this kind of diseases. Now researchers have to think of how they can find out the cause, or how they can find out the remedies for such type of disease. Even COVID-19, we are calling it as a mysterious disease. This is an RNA-based virus, asymptomatic sometimes, and spreads easily via different mediums. That is the main concern. So still now we are all striving for the good vaccine. The vaccines are in trial, but not a single drug. Now people are using different chloroquine or remdesivir, but no perfect drug is available. People are getting infected with this corona disease, and sometimes they are getting cured by themselves also. So how we can find out the remedy for this? The solution for this COVID-19, the people are now here, robots are making helping a lot. Where when we are saying this is a type of disease which is infectious, now through the robot, how we can remotely monitor and treat that COVID patient instead of taking a swab and something putting the health professionals' life into risk. How robots can help to take the swab and treat the patient. So even the swab taking technique is very tedious, and instead of that, there was solution that instead of doing this, how if we can take an X-ray, chest X-ray of a person, and with that CT scan or the chest X-ray, can we classify those images, and disease can be classified as whether the person is suffering from COVID or not. So there is a concept of transfer learning. I told you about GitHub. So people are putting their codes on it, so that other researchers or other people who wants to develop some new things can make use of it. Now there is a concept called as DeepNet, or there is a ResNet is there. So this ResNet is developed by Microsoft. There is a VGGNet developed by Google. So these type of nets are nothing but they are trained deep learning model, convolutional neural network model. Even there are RNN models too, like LSTM. Now they are already been trained on some images, and now your problem statement is something different, which was those images are not there in that image dataset. Then also with the help of transfer learning, there is a concept called as transfer learning. You can attach or embed your image dataset with that original one, and again make that net learn. It will reduce the training time also, and it will give you the good accuracy. So the researchers, some of the researchers have come up with the COVID-net or COVID-ResNet, which are the neural network or the CNN, which have been trained on the X-rays of patients of COVID, and then you can use these net models or deep learning neural network model for classifying the new patient X-rays, whether it is suffering from COVID or not. So this type of solutions with AI are getting available for COVID. So here there is a saying by Albert Einstein that is information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. Now, why we were not able to find out or classify the X-rays of COVID patient initially? Because we were not having the knowledge or experience of this type of disease. So we were not having samples. So as we are saying here, deep neural network, sometimes it happens that monkey standing with cycle can be classified as a human by deep neural network. It is possible. Why? Because some of the samples are not yet trained by that model. So that's why it is said that it is just mimicking. AI is mimicking, making machine to mimic human intelligence, but the wisdom is only with the human. So until and unless we have an experience, the knowledge we will not get. So that is the saying, information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. So the research opportunities could be, you can, whatever solutions are available, you can also strive for more precision and accuracy. You have to reduce the false alarm. So sometimes it happens that person is not having COVID. You know, people are saying that if you don't want to get into corona, don't do the COVID test, because whenever anyone goes for the COVID, doing a COVID test, it comes positive only. So this is like a false alarm. So this is misleading the patient, and this is a threat to the community. So the system which you are developing should reduce the false alarms, improvise or increase the precision and accuracy. And the main thing is provide a cost-effective solution. Now, in this pandemic situation, many of you, I'm not just saying, just many of the people have gone affected with the corona, and those who have gotten admitted into hospital, they are getting bills like 8 lakh, 10 lakhs like that. But there are people who are staying in small huts. They are very poor, and how they are going to get all this facility, and how they are going to get the admission in the ICUs. So the healthcare solution which you will be providing should be cost effective, and that time everyone should. There is a right of everyone to get the medical facility. So that should be the main aim of any person. So robotic surgeries are not, everyone cannot bear it, the cost expenses. So that's why people are reluctant to it, but still we can improvise on accuracy. So based on that, we can find out the cost-effective solution. I said about privacy and security. So there are certain privacy preserving techniques. Whenever a person, like I was afraid that whenever I am putting my data into Arogya Setu app, I am sharing my location. So that is like related to my privacy. So that privacy should not be infringed. So that time the security measures has to be provided. Even there are certain government regulation should be there. Okay, so privacy, when you are saying that I am transferring the data from sensor to some cloud, then also the data, whenever it is getting transferred, it should be secured enough while transferring it from one place to another. So the researchers can also, and for that also some of the machine learning techniques are used for developing this security protocol. Why? Because when we are transferring, we are applying certain security measures. We are adding delays. We are losing certain information, and if we are doing it, you are compromising on accuracy. So how there will be a win-win situation using AI technique, that security is also provided and accuracy is also maintained. I'm sorry. Then the other challenges are, or the opportunities are, availability of annotated data. I said that deep learning are doing very well, but if you don't have the labeled data, you may not get the good results. So that is availability of data is very important. You have to find out, you can find out correlation among symptoms. Now pneumonia and corona has the overlapping symptoms. So how you can differentiate among two diseases, different diseases. So that is also very important, and research opportunities are available to find out the correlation among symptoms. So That's why each AI technique has their own limitations. So I said that can they replace human intelligence? No, they just mimic the intelligence, but they cannot be a doctor, because when you are saying robotic assisted surgery also, then also that robot needs to be operated by a doctor who is experienced person. So this technology we should take in a positive manner, where it is not for replacing human, but it is just for assisting human to make it more efficient, more accurate, and solve the common complex problem. So always you should think of doing something out of box, that is called as innovation. So I can see last night my daughter has designed this system herself. She is in just sixth and she is 11-year-old, and she said that why can't we develop such system that we have an app, and through the camera we can see coronaviruses, and if it is not there, then it will tell you are safe, corona free something. So is it possible? So this infrastructure or architecture is done. Now we have to just think of that how we can, what is that technology with which we can see the coronaviruses and in a cost effective manner. So this could be the invention, and researchers should always think in an out of box way. Why we should think that no, this is not possible? If 11-year-old girl is thinking that yes, we can find out such kind of viruses with this type of devices, why can't we have such camera which will find out this type of viruses? Then we should also think in that manner and do the inventions. So challenges for health industries are high infrastructure development cost, yes, because we have seen right now that there was no infrastructure available, and because of it, we have to do the lockdown and everything, because everyone, if it gets infected into corona, everyone will not get the medical services. So it has a high infrastructure development cost. Integration issues are there. So I am developing one app for ECG monitoring, someone else is developing app for BP monitoring, but if they are not interoperable, then I have to buy two devices. So this should not happen. There should be the developed system should be interoperable. So integration issues to be avoided. Even there are reluctance by the medical practitioners to adopt AI, because they are thinking that they will replace us. But this is not the case. They should not fear about the technology, but they should use that technology for improvising their results. So ethical issues are there. Sometimes it happens that there was a case study that there should be a incision of insulin, but if that dose gets overdosed, then it may cause death of a person. So that time the security ethics is very important. Government regulations should be applied for using such kind of health system which have been developed. There is a protocol called as HIPAA, which is used by the in USA for using any type of healthcare protocols or communication. So such kind of protocols should be imposed in all of the governments. Privacy preserving techniques should be embedded, and whenever there is an update, because it always happens, technology is changing, and corona also, the symptoms are changing. So that time whatever updates are coming, that updates should get updated in the softwares which are being available. Like Arogya Setu app gets updated every time. That should be there. And after all, whatever I have thought about technology, healthcare, disease prediction, but still if you think of if you are saying that why should I go to see the doctor? No one wants to see the doctor. So if you don't want to see the doctor, just do exercise, keep ample amount, take deep sleep, eat healthy, and take balanced diet. Be with your family and dear ones, and keep social distancing. And finally, don't worry, be happy. So thank you for the patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now we have some questions. We can take the questions, ma'am. Deepthi madam, we have got some questions. Can we take them?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, ma'am. The first one is asked by Dr. N.S. Jain, sir. He asks, what is the difference between AI, ANN, and fuzzy logic?
Okay. Sir, AI is an umbrella. So AI is basically deals with an logic. Zeros and ones based on, it can be an induction logic based on a given situation, input variable, what could be the next step. If you this is developed mostly for first time for playing a chess game. Okay, so there are n number of moves, and based on the moves, what will be the next move, what will be the best possible move. Actually, from this the AI concept came into picture. Now this logic only extended with this artificial neural network. Now what is ANN? ANN, what it does is we provide certain inputs. Now we are it is the inputs, we have the corresponding output, that is a y1. So samples are given as an input, and y, that is the desired output, will be there. If we give the inputs to the input nodes, so I had shown you the architecture of ANN, where there are the input nodes, hidden layers, and the outputs. Outputs could be the classes, that means like y1, y2. Let's take an example of yes or no. So when we are giving an input sample, and if we are getting the expected output, if we don't get the expected output, that means the expected outputs are given with the hidden layer, where there is an activation function, and the weights given to the synapses through which the weights get connected with the inputs. Now, if those weights are not correct, you are not going to get the expected output. So that will be like a y and y hat. That is the we have to see for the error. If that error is acceptable, we can stop there. Otherwise, we can go on updating the weights so that we can get the expected output. That is like a predicted output and actual output. So this is the way we are going to train the neural network. So that is mostly used for supervised learning and classification purpose. Now fuzzy logic, we have different functions. They are different functions like triangle and all. They are like uncertainty. Now in neural network, you have fixed y, that is either yes or no. You don't have the classes like 1.1, 2.1, 3.1 like that. Now fuzzy logic has a very good example of washing machine, that depending on the dirt in the cloths, we are going to decide what should be the water level, what should be the wash time. Now, can you say the particular cloth is dirty or not dirty? It can be a somewhat dirty too. It is very dirty too. So now that states have the uncertainty. So we have to mathematically model it as a fuzzy functions, and then train that system to understand at what level to what level I should keep this wash time, at what level to what level I should keep this wash time. So that is kind of difference between ANN, they are used for class.
And confirm if your question is answered. I think he's not available right now, ma'am. Can we move to the next question?
Yes.
Priyanka Bhosle has asked, where can we get the authentic data set for text analysis in healthcare? Madam, if Priyanka Bhosle madam is here right now, can you please switch on your mic and elaborate your question, because you've written it twice. But ultimately what she wants to know is, where can you get the data? Yeah, ma'am, please continue.
Ma'am, as you have given the example that we can apply our Indian Ayurvedic knowledge in treating different diseases, but where can we get the data set on which we can perform certain classification regression methods to devise a solution for particular disease?
See that if you are thinking of Ayurvedic things, that was the actual challenge, that all the Ayurvedic literature is not yet digitized.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why what you can do is you have to take certain samples and you have to convert it into the data or digitize it. So that will be actually what you can say, that will be actually itself is a research statement where you can extract the scanned document and convert that scanned document into digital letters and make a textual form of it.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, because see, even I have given you the example of modality.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
there also people are what they are doing. They have very old modality documents. No one knows about modality actually. Few people in India now have knowledge of modality. Now with the person who is knowing that modality, that his knowledge plus that document which is been then scanned and the characters are being converted into words, then it should be interpreted with the knowledge of that person. That is kind of a knowledge base, and then you can digitize it and then you can interpret it in the context. So that is itself is a first research statement.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
And here
Thank
you have to apply the NLP techniques for extracting knowledge, because nowadays not only English but people are using developing a system for regional languages.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is by Mr. Jan Shimpi. He is asking, in case of non-invasive diabetes using breath analysis, how can we identify type 1 and type 2 diabetic diseases? Do we have any kind of sensor technology which exists for detecting diabetes using retina?
See, type 1 and type 2 diseases have their own different features, and based on that, the acetone level gets varied, and the patterns in those acetone levels are also varied. You have to take different samples of the person, and then you should have the data set of type 1 and type 2 diabetes people ka breath samples, and then you will be able to find out the patterns of type 1 and type 2 disease people, and then once the rules are set or formed, then you can classify them into type 1 or type 2 diabetes using breath. And that's why you have to create the data set. Until and unless you have the data set, you cannot classify them.
Shimpi sir, is your question answered?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
I hope it is
and is there any kind of sensor technologies exist for detecting the diabetes using retina?
No, my students had developed that thing, but not yet all the sensors are available.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. The next question is by Mrs. Neelam Patil. The question is, which unsupervised approach of machine learning is useful for researchers, and which parameters will justify that supervised approaches are the best? Neelam madam, if you are there, please you can switch on your mic and ask the question directly, or any explanations if you want.
Yeah. See, which unsupervised approaches of machine learning are useful for as I said, that depending on the problem statement, you have to choose the correct technique. So, if your data is labeled, if you have the samples with their classes, then only you can go for supervised approaches. So, which parameters will justify the supervised approaches are best? First, you have to detect whether my what is my data, what things I am available with, and then only you can think of I should go for supervised approach or not. Okay. Now, in supervised approaches, there are many things. You have SVM, you have decision trees, you have naive-based classifier, you have CNN. Well, you need a label data. You have ANN also. So, what type of data you have, what dimensional data you have, because each algorithm has got its own limitations. Like if decision trees are there and if there is no, if there is a high dimensional data, it will not work well. Or I told about ANN. So ANN, BNN may be preferred over ANN when there is high dimensional or when the features are not known. So depending on the problem statement and data set availability, you have to thought of which type of supervised approach you should use. We cannot say this is the best, but yes, you can carry out the comparative study so that you can say that no, if I use on this data which is high dimensional, and if I use in decision tree, if I use ANN and if you use this DNN, then what are my results? What are my precisions? You can go for a confusion matrix, and then you can tell, okay, yes, this type of supervised approach is proving better for my case study. So I cannot say that yes, CNN is better or DNN is better. It is depending on what data set you have, what is your problem statement, what type of labels you have got, and what type of features you are going to extract. Now, in case of unsupervised approaches, you have different clustering techniques. You have also RNN kind of thing. You have also nowadays, there is a concept called as GAN, Generative Adversarial Network. So these are like a network where sometimes it happens that some of the data is labeled and some of the data is not labeled. So if you have this type of thing, then this GAN type of network, from the available label data, they generate the new label data. This is also the technology which is coming. It is called a semi-supervised kind of technique or approach. So you have now here also unsupervised approach. I cannot say that K-means is better or some other hierarchical agglomerative clusterings are better or self-organizing maps are better. But that then also you have to do the literature review, see which for your problem statement, how researchers have got the results, and then from those you can come out with 2-3 approaches. You can use nowadays everything is coming in tools, so you don't have to implement all the techniques from scratch. You have to just take it and you have to experiment it to see which approach is proving better for my particular problem statement. Is that okay, Neelam Patil ma'am?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. That GAN approach that you have suggested, that we will definitely try to use it.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you, madam. Do we have any more questions from participants? If so, you can switch on the mic and ask the question directly. I think we do not have more questions now. Now we can move ahead. Thank you, Dr. Deepti Patil, madam, for the extraordinary session. Your research work, contributions, and the inventions are really inspiring, and I'm sure all the participants will take a lot of benefit out of it. I now would like to request Mrs. Vaishali Kolhe to summarize the session what we have heard today. Over to you, Vaishali, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mrs. Vaishali Kolhe, Assistant Professor in Computer Engineering Department, summarizing today's session by Dr. Deepti Patil, ma'am, on topic Healthcare Informatics. Ma'am has started session with the concept of health and informatics. Ma'am mentioned the role of artificial intelligence and how it is important in healthcare. We can use AI for different tasks of hospital due to availability of data, capability of handling huge amount of data, and availability of high-end machines. Ma'am explained various AI techniques like machine learning, robotics, NLP, fuzzy logic, deep learning, which can be used in healthcare domain to provide these solutions. There are many research areas in healthcare like diagnosis based on medical imaging, diabetes prediction, depression analysis, analyzing breath for cancer detection. Ma'am explained research work, AI for preventive care, where human is monitored and observe the changes, and based on that, risk is predicted. It's a really helpful system to take some precautionary measures. There is another area ma'am mentioned, that brain-computer interface, where communication is possible through brain signals and eye and vibration. Ma'am mentioned some more research areas like AI for pregnancy monitoring, AI for Nadi Pariksha, robotic surgery, etc. Another area like mysterious diseases like COVID, where we can work and find the solutions. Ma'am has mentioned many research opportunities, so that there is lot of scope for research in medical field, in healthcare domain. So faculty come up with your innovative solutions for different problems in this area to serve the society. So ma'am, it was really informative session and inspiring session. Thank you so much ma'am for a such great insightful session. Thank you ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
All to power ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Moving ahead, it is said that feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it, as said by William Arthur Ward. So now I would like to move towards expressing the feeling of gratitude to all those who owe for this program. First and foremost, I start with gratitude towards our Honorable Chairman, Shri Satish G. Patil Sir, for supporting and encouraging us to conduct such events on regular basis. I'd like to thank our Honorable Campus Director, Colonel S.K. Joshi Sir, for motivating and guiding us to organize such events. I would also acknowledge my gratitude towards Dr. Deepti Patil Madam once again for sharing her knowledge and sparing the valuable time from her very busy schedule. And thank you, Madam. Thank you once again. We are all inspired by your great words, and we are sure that we shall ensure to implement the suggestions and benefit from your work to our best capacity. A big thanks to our respected principal, Dr. Vijay M. Badhai Sir, for his encouragement and support and motivation. My heartfelt thanks to Vice Principal, Dr. Mrs. P. Malti Madam, for her guidance and support and encouraging us for all such events. I'd like to thank our HOD, Dr. Vinayak Kottavar Sir, for his support and guidance and being there for any issues to organize such events. I'd like to thank Mrs. Shanti Guru and Neelam Patil, the chief coordinators of this program, for initiating this and putting all their efforts in the organization of this event. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizing team for their efforts to make this event possible. A big thanks to all the participants for the active participation and being with us. Thank you all once again. Dear participants, now we come to the end of the session, morning session of day 4. The next session would start in the afternoon at sharp at 1:50 p.m. So thank you. We'll meet again at 1:50. Thank you. Thanks.